This video that you're about to see will be a bit different from our usual health videos. You might wonder what this subject has to do with health and lifestyle, but it has a lot to do with it, because when we are kind and helpful to others, it's actually good for our own health. So as you watch this, keep that in mind, and I hope that the subject matter will touch your heart. We shouldn't enable drug addicts, criminals, or alcoholics in their activity, and one reason I am very impressed with Dakota Eco Garden is that they have carefully screened the people they accept into their residence, and they do careful hair analysis for past drug use that can go months back into the person's history. They also check their record for any criminal activity. And they don't accept just anybody. They have rules, and the people that come have to have a sense of community and cooperation and a good spirit about them. So I hope you will consider this organization and see what you can do to help. Hi guys, this is Janine from NewEarthWellness, and I'm here with Nancy, and I wanted you to meet people that have been through the experience of homelessness. I want to help you understand how to help people and what not to do to help homeless people. And our first question for Nancy is, what was your life like before you became homeless?
I was a security officer for the Fresno Art Museum for 12 years. And had my truck, had my apartment, and had everything you could want. And then the museum decided to downsize, and they wanted to hire out contract security instead of in-house security. So I was without a job, and it went from there. It's like 2 paychecks away from homelessness. And I lived in with the help of my daughter Kathy, I lived in a motel for quite a few months, and then I ended up on the street by myself, me and my cat.
And do you still have your cat?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Yes, I do. She's 3 years old now. Yeah. Or she will be in September.
Yeah. So it was downsizing in your job. Were you able to look for other work?
Not without resources. No phone. And my health is bad, and I have heart problems and ulcers and a bad hip, arthritis and things. So I just haven't looked for work.
So your health kind of limits your ability. Yeah.
And then coming to the Eco Garden, I was able to have the resources to get my Social Security, because I'm 63, and I was 61 when I was first homeless, and I don't consider living in a motel homeless, but I guess it is. So maybe I was homeless longer than that, but in the dirt was actually out there a year. And coming here, I've been able to address my health issues and get them on an even keel, and get my Social Security, and then help with the presentations and the living here. Because we have 11 residents, and I help them with their problems, with resources they need to get a hold of, because we all have food stamps, and some of them, one gets GR, I think, general relief, and we have a couple of success stories. David works Maria, it works. She drives bus for handicapped people. And he works at IRS, seasonal. And then we do a lot of things around here. Keep busy.
So is the goal of the people that come here, is it to eventually be able to move out and
Yes,
have
yes.
their own place again?
Yes, it's a step up from the dirt to where they have a computer room so they can get online and get their resume out there. And we had one young lady that left, and she goes to City College, and she was able to do her research and turn in papers and stuff like that online. And David still, he has a job, but he job searches all the time to get something. It's not seasonal, something that's full-time, regular, you know.
Yeah.
And we have a Facebook page for Dakota Eco Garden that tells everybody our wants and our needs. And our major need right now is hoses so we can water these things. And that sort of thing. We share a kitchen, and sometimes we cook together or pool our stuff together. And other times we just eat shifts, you know. And it's a big enough stove and 2 refrigerators and a little freezer that we're all the accommodations are there. And you just might have to rotate it. Well, giving them money isn't going to do it, because a lot of people that they tend to use dope or drink as part of their homelessness. It's a way of coping, and so I wouldn't give them money. Like sleeping bags or jackets, clothes, things like that, maybe food, and respect them. Just, you could do more for a homeless person by respecting them as another human being with frailties, with problems, and you can't solve everybody's problem, but we can be kind humans. That would be my way of helping a homeless person, because I try to talk to people that are sensitive to homeless people and tell them that homeless people have been scattered everywhere by our mayor, and instead of little encampments like we had that kept them together and kept them safe from the outside elements, you know, criminal elements or whatever, and those have been scattered, so people are afraid. And I try to talk to the homeless to give the kind humans a chance, you know. Don't be so afraid. Just step out of the box and put out your hand and see what happens. You know, they're not all the kind humans are bad.
Yeah.
And they're not all like the mayor that want to run you to the curb. I mean, my adopted daughter and I our camp was bulldozed, and so we found a place out in the county in a big field, and the mayor's task force, homeless task force, hunted her down and pulled strings here and there and here and there, and had her thrown off the county property. And where we were when they bulldozed, they threatened, because the owner of the land where we were at owned a business behind us, and he had no problem with us because we kept it clean. We had a porta potty that UU Church provided for us, and Community Alliance, and we were clean, and we were reasonably drug free. And because all the hypodermic users and all those people were told they couldn't stay with us, couldn't stay there. And when they bulldozed this, it was like bulldozing my home. And for them to follow, they threatened that business owner with healthy fines for having us back there, and if he didn't sign a thing that said that he had to be evicted. And that's crap. That's, you know, that's anything but humane, and that's our mayor.
And it's not a solution to a homeless problem either.
No, and it's not a solution to scatter them so you can't count them.
Yeah.
There's still as many homeless. Last count I understood was up to 5,000 people in our area.
Yeah.
And in our camp, say out of 20 people, 9 of us were senior citizens. And I haven't been able to find those senior citizens to see if they made it through last winter or not.
Yeah.
Because we were just buckling in for winter and getting, you know, cardboard up and stuff like that, and they bulldozed it. So I don't know if they had a place to stay warm. The Pavarello house, the Naomi house, Evangel home, all of that only have so many beds, and they have so many rules and that are inhumane themselves.
Yeah.
And they have no place for our animals. In a homeless person, an animal is all they have to give them love and comfort and something that they can be responsible for and love in return. And I would say for homeless, just shake their hand or let them know, just talk to them and let them know that you're a kind human. You know, not that you so understand where they're coming from or what it's like to be homeless, because until you've lived out in that dirt and you're afraid, you don't know. I spent 2 nights in Roding Park with my cart and my cat and my shopping cart, and I was scared to death. I couldn't sleep. I sat up all night long hearing different noises and people. You can't imagine people that go through Roding Park after it's closed. And I just sat under one of those picnic table eaves and up against a wall where nobody could get behind me, and with a couple of blankets on me and my cat, and waited for daylight. And then she found me, Cinnamon, and brought me right into her little encampment, which is behind the silos. And if it hadn't been for her, I would have died in the heat. And just the guys that actually helped me get my cart over there wanted to roll me and take my medical card. And they weren't homeless. They were just there looking for her to pray, looking for someone to pray on.
Yeah.
And she put a squelch to that. They took me almost to her camp, but not quite. And parked me down next to a meth dealer who had all kinds of, and I was only there for a couple of hours because she found out I was there, because she gave me the cat 2 years before that. And she came out, looked in my tent and said, "Nancy, come on," and she packed me up and moved me the rest of the way to the silos. And I would say just be a kind human. That's all you can do, and they'll let you know what you can do and what you cannot do, but don't give them money. Money is not the answer. Giving them a ride isn't the answer, because it's like you wouldn't give any Manny, Mo, and Jack on the corner a ride, because you don't know. And it's the same with homeless. You don't really know if someone's homeless until you see them go in their tent, because there's a lot of people out there of a criminal mind, state of mind, and they pretend to be homeless, seriously, and for what they can get. You know, and not those people on the corner with their sign up, I'm homeless and something to eat, money, you know, I wouldn't give them money. Not at all. Those people make a lot of money. Enough money to supply their drugs and have a motel room. They don't need your money. You know, they need you to pass them up. Because it's an organized situation. Because one gal tried to get me to do it. She had a room, you know, a place, but she thought because I was elderly that I'd be a good money getter. I said no, I can't, you know, I'm not going to go begging for money. I'll go to Catholic charities and get food, or to the Salvation Army, clothing and food, but they don't have, I wouldn't stay at Poverello because I don't need a structured religion kind of in my life. I've accepted Christ. I know my spirituality, and I don't need someone telling me you can't go here, you can't leave until 7 o'clock in the morning when you had your oatmeal and they throw you out. You know, I couldn't live like that.
No.
And by the grace of God, Nancy Waitlow came along and was standing strong while they were bulldozing our place, and invited me here to take a look to see if I wanted to be a house manager or house host, and said it might pay a little bit, and I said no, I don't need the money, but the room is great, and so that's what I'm paid here, is my room. And of course I get Social Security, so I'm covered, you know, and my Medi-Cal. And I'm living the life, I think, you know, and helping these people has been so rewarding to watch them come in from the dirt, clean up, rest up, and get online and find this avenue or that avenue that helps them find a place of their own, or gives them the tools to work with to get back into regular society. If you want regular society. But, and I love each and every one of them. We have a good group here. They're all helpful, and they make sure that, because I'm the oldest one here, they take good care of me. And I'm very fortunate, very, very fortunate. And I think homelessness gave me a new path in life, you know, and that's Waitlow. Gave me a new reason to do what I do, to speak about homelessness, to speak to the homeless, and to take care of these kids. You know, that's about all.
As I've read on articles and stuff about the situation where your place was bulldozed, one thing that occurred to me is that all their efforts would make a person feel like there was some kind of law against their own existence.
Do you know, I remember hearing about stories about the Dust Bowl, and when people from Oklahoma and Arkansas came here for work, they were allowed camps, little camps of Okies, they called them. I'm proud to be one, or, you know, an ancestry. And they were allowed their camps outside of orchards and all that stuff. And I just don't know when it became, it's not against the law. It's against the city ordinance now for a homeless person to rest more than 15 minutes in Courthouse Park without an officer running them off. They can't be pushing a shopping cart because the officer will stop and confiscate the cart and all of its everything in it, or dump it on the street and take the cart because it belongs to some store somewhere. And when I found my cart, it was abandoned, and it was a big old hunky. I had to pick the heaviest.
Yeah.
I only picked it because it was big, and I could make a little. I took a shelf out of an old refrigerator, metal shelf, and had a guy help me bend it. And I put it in the front of the cart, like about this much room, so that my Gracie had her own little cage, and I wouldn't worry about her getting away or or being scared. I should have put her in the back of the cart because she didn't like looking ahead to see where we were going. And it was an adventure. It's not one I ever want to repeat, but I've learned so many things about humanity and about myself and about Mother Earth. That's invaluable. It's helped me become more human and more rounded human, to know that that job is not the only thing. You lose that job and you're here, then what are you going to do? And
or you lose your house.
And your house, because you lose your job, next thing you know, you're going to lose your house, your car. Because you lose your car because you can't get the license for it, registration. And why get a driver's license when you don't have a car anymore? And you can't have a car because you don't have insurance. You can't even afford gas anymore. And I got anxiety behind the wheel. I had to quit before all that happened. And it wasn't my driving I was worried about. It was everybody around me, so it was part of my anxiety.
Yeah.
And people don't realize it's 1-2 checks, maybe just even $5,000 in your banking account, your savings account. If you have no way to replenish that, you will soon end up on the street. And if you have family, they can't take care of you forever. I didn't have family. I was just homeless. And I worked all my life. Never in a million years did I ever think of me being a homeless person. It never crossed my mind that I would never have my own home. And when I was in shock, and it didn't take long till the shock subsided and fear took over, And I have a lot of good friends that got me a motel room for this night or that night for about a week, but I couldn't let them pay any more because I couldn't pay them back. I had no clue what was going to happen to me. And then Cinnamon found me, and I was at the top of the homeless chain. I felt safe and secure and happy. And I was happy by the silos. And then to watch them just clamp it up in those big things and shove it in a dumpster. My tent, my everything. It was so sad you couldn't cry. It hurt so bad I couldn't cry until a couple of days later. And now, because the mayor is all about the money, all about what she wants to do next, because she can't run for mayor again. How she got to be mayor, one of her campaign slogans I remember from back then, when she was first running for mayor, was "Let's help the homeless. You give us $1 and I'll put in $2 to help the homeless." And instead, the end of her reign, she's bulldozing everybody and running them out so that it looks like Fresno doesn't have any homeless. We've almost eradicated the homeless problem.
Hey, people viewing this, if they want to help the Eco Village, what can they do?
Dakota Eco Village?
Yeah.
Eco Garden?
The one in Fresno.
Yeah. Go on Facebook, and our page on Facebook, and Nanette will tell you how to help. Yeah, because we need people that can volunteer out in the garden. And I don't know.
I understand that Nancy mentioned something about you guys were wanting to find another piece of land to be able to build.
Yes, to make another Dakota Eco Garden, or Ashland Gardens, or if they have land they're not using, we have people that can manage it for them. If not me, there's people that we could train. My adopted daughter Cinnamon would be a great camp manager. If they, or like this, a piece of land with a lot of property in the back that they don't mind, would be terrific.
Okay. Would it be possible for us to give the viewers a little bit of a tour?
Sure, whatever you want.